Ready for a new business horizon? The Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority offers tax incentives, low-interest loans, neighborhood revitalization programs, and commercial space to help your business thrive. Grow with us. Visit USVIEDA.org today.
Senator Fonseca, welcome to AllAhWeTv. Your intended bill has caused much conversation here in our community, and we're here to just give explanation to what is the intent and clarify it, because let's say most people, they probably watched the headline and they got super excited about it. And you know, that's the one thing we here at AllAhWeTv, we want to get both sides of the story. So we want to thank you for being here and give you the opportunity to talk about what the bill, the measure, intended bill, what is it? So welcome again to AllAhWeTv and your floor.
Well, thank you for having me, Emmett, and you know, I'm so grateful for having this opportunity to be able to explain the facts so that the people can understand exactly what Bill number 360023 intends to do. Because there's been some misinformation, and you know, if that was true, I myself would be upset from, you know, what the misinformation is. So the bill maintains the existing tax structure for the vehicles in class 1, 16 cents per pound. So all vehicles under 6,000 pounds will keep the same rate, no change, and most vehicles are below 6,000 pounds. I call it the 6-tire tax. Basically, if your vehicle has more than 6 tires, then it would be included. And it's a one-time tax. You pay it once in the life of your vehicle when you're registering the vehicle. So the bill protects everyday residents by keeping the cost the same as it is. 90% of the people would have absolutely no impact. You see, when a vehicle is manufactured, there are 8 classes. They call it the gross vehicle weight rating. And most vehicles are under 6,000 pounds. Those are your sedans, you know, your small SUVs, all of the Hondas, the Acuras, all of those, Mercedes-Benz, all of those will stay. There'll be no effect. But the larger truck classes will go on a graduated scale, going from 18 cents. Remember, class 1 is no impact. Class 2 would go to 18 cents all the way up to class 8, which would be 30 cents. So it's a way of providing additional funds for public works, where it's a fair system where we're assessing a higher tax, one-time tax, on those vehicles that come into the island, so that public works can have additional funds to maintain the roads.
So presently, there's a road tax. We do have a road tax presently, correct?
Yes.
And everyone paying the same fee across the board?
Yes. Right now, a car that has 4 tires, say you have your Toyota Acura, pays 16 cents per pound, and a large concrete truck
paying the same
16 cents
per pound. So this bill intends to the higher class vehicle, which probably causing more weight on the road, more wear and tear on the road.
Yes.
They would pay a little bit more money, which goes to the public works
road fund. Yes. And the way how the funds will be set up, 20% of the revenues will go to St. Croix, 20% to St. Thomas, 3% to St. John, and 1% to Water Island. So if your vehicle is less...
Repeat that structure one more time that you said?
Yeah, the funds will be 20% go to St. Thomas, 20% St. Croix, 7% St. John, and 3% for Water Island. So right now, if your vehicle has 4 tires, your chances are you're exempt unless that vehicle is like a Ford F350 or a 450, a big large vehicle that has 4 tires. But it basically applies to the 6 tires, the 8 tires, the 10 tires, the 14 and the 18 tire vehicles. And so it's a fair way, because you know a vehicle at 33,000 pounds puts a lot more wear and tear on the road than a vehicle of 3,000 or 4,000 pounds. So it's a one-time tax. It's when you register the vehicle, you never pay the tax again.
Okay, that sounds fair. So in the, let's say, all the text and all the commotion that went on when this was announced, and it was announced on another platform, you know, when it was shared, I tend to not get too excited until I hear both sides of the story. But, you know, anything that involves increase to the public pocket, of course, because we're in sensitive times.
Yes.
Now, in it, there was a communication, a rumor, a chatter that taxis are exempt. Is that correct? Or is there more to the bill that you need to explain?
Well, no. The taxis have been exempt from this for donkey years. Donkey years, the taxis have been exempt. You know, our taxi industry is a local, largely black-owned business. You know, they are hard-working men and women that have been able to find a niche where they can feed their family and provide for their kids for the rest of their lives, and also be able to maintain somewhat of a decent standard of living. You know, it's not all the time the taxi them, you know, has a lot of, you know, money. So the taxis has been exempt way before this was proposed, and so this bill would have no impact on the taxi drivers, and it would have no impact on the vehicles with 4 tires. So basically 90% of the persons driving on the road, this bill would not affect.
You're exempt. And these larger vehicles, mostly construction vehicles, tractor trailers, you know, those type of vehicles, such and such and such. Now, has your office received an increase in calls since this has started? You know, so I want to know, because on social media there was such an increase in posts and activity. Has the public been calling your office for clarification, or not as much as we hoped?
Well, not as many people have called me for clarification. That's why I'm so happy, Emmett, you give me this opportunity, because the way how and other news media ran the ad is that this will be an annual tax. You'll have to pay it every year. Right now, you already own your vehicle, you're driving it, you never ever have to pay the tax. You've already paid the highway user tax. It would never ever affect you. You've already paid it when you registered your car, and even if you have a heavier vehicle, it wouldn't affect you because it's already been paid. This is for new vehicles coming in. If you already on the road driving, you at 16 cents if you have a 4-tire car. If you have an SUV, any 4-tire car that's less than 6,000 pounds. Most of the SUVs are less than 6,000. You'll never ever pay any increase whatsoever.
I want to really give a special thanks to your office member, I want to say Chief of Staff Delvin Duggins. He was very instrumental in putting this interview opportunity opportunity together. So I want to say thank you
Yes.
when he saw it, and you know our schedules were working back and forth. So
Yes.
thank you to you
Yes.
as right now too. I just came in from St. Croix. Believe it or not, you know you're gonna air this in the morning. It's gonna be posted to AllAhWeTv. It's about 8:30 p.m. right now, and the senator and I, you know, we've been
Yes,
playing phone
yes.
tag just to get this together and to share the information. So thank you to Delvin. Thank you to you, your schedule making it happen. And as you said, you know, there's not an increase. It's the same road tax. Most people ain't gonna feel a difference. It's what we said there. You know, it's a great thing to see us being vocal and involved. We gotta love that.
Yes.
But of course, it's one thing we want to do is find out all the information and share the information. So thank you for coming and doing that.
Thank you.
Let's go a little bit more. Earlier this year, we had a conversation together outside of the legislature.
Yes.
I want to ask you how your year is going because, you know, we had that conversation in which you were hoping or proposed or asked the governor to declare a state of emergencies for the territories
In the
hospitals.
Yes.
Now, so has that received the response you want? Now we came and you got this bill. It wasn't worded or came off in the media as how it should. So, boy, you've been getting a little bit of blows this year so far, man.
Yeah. I've been working hard for the people. You know, the hospitals. I still maintain that the hospitals are in a state of emergency. As a matter of fact, I just received a memo from several of the physicians from Wang Louis complaining they're severely short-staffed. The emergency room wait times are not really improving. You know, we're working diligently. There have been some movement, but we are still in a hospital state of emergency. The problem is,
go ahead, sorry.
The problem is that with the WAPA state of emergency, the government has depleted the budget stabilization fund. It had like 17 million plus. Now it's less than $2 million. So the money that I wanted to put into the hospital no longer exists because it's been pumped into WAPA. But the hospitals are still in emergency. We have a meeting on Wednesday where I'm trying to restructure some certain things with the insurance, because the bottom line for the hospitals to do better, they must get the Cigna and the United Healthcare employees. So we want to restructure the agreements where the Cigna and the United Healthcare can go to the hospital and have no copay. That would encourage them to stay home. They'll have no deductible. That will encourage them to stay home. And we'll also provide incentives for the people to do their procedures that can be performed locally rather than having to fly all the way up to Cleveland Clinic just for a simple, you know, test. So we're still working. There's a lot of work to be done. You know, I've been getting some blows, but I'm at my back bill for it. I'm working for the people, and when you're doing a lot of work, you know, you're going to get criticized. You know, our most famous person that ever walked this earth, he himself got a lot of criticism, but as you can see, so, you know, me, a mortal me, just imagine, I'm trying to do the job. It's a tough job, and health, hospitals, and human services has a whole lot of issues. So,
did you receive or have you received the response from the governor or the executive branch which you hoped for when you asked for the state of emergency, or at least the communication?
Yes, we've had some meetings and we've made certain agreements. Like, for example, the hospital is going to they have to reorganize, you know, take Wang Louis. Wang Louis had 117 beds. They're down to 54 beds. They've paid a consultant, said they have to reorganize. They're still running a staff of over 500 employees, even though the unit now there is less than half. So they have to downsize. We're paying them, you know, this big salaries, and I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to make the tough decision. So the Wang Louis Hospital hospital has to make the decision and downsize, use some of that saving to hire more emergency room physicians, nurses, patient care technicians. And what we've agreed to do is that we're going to merge certain functions of the hospitals. The IT system, the billing system. They probably don't need two, separate management structures. The final arrangement of how it's going to look has not been done, but there's a lot of discussion that's going on and being more efficient, procuring services and goods, even physicians, where a physician can operate in the Royal Leicester Snyder Hospital, but he can't go and operate in the Wang Louis Hospital. They have to get a different license and all that. It's one territory. Once a physician is certified in St. Thomas, they must be certified in St. Croix. So there's a lot of, bureaucratic issues that we have to get to. And also the board. Right now there's 3 boards. St. Thomas board, a St. Croix board, and a territorial board. We only really need one board because the St. Thomas board don't have a quorum. They can't meet. St. Croix don't have a board. They can't meet. So it's a lot of inefficiencies. And it's complex, but we're improving slightly as far as the administration, but they still have a lot to go, Emmett.
Okay. So we were talking about, of course, this current topic on the road tax, but we got to talk a little bit more about what was there before, which was the conditions of our hospitals, the state of emergency, and where we are with that. So just repeating, and we want to say thank you for being here. The commotion and excitement that was there it's not to disappoint, but they ain't getting that increase.
Yeah, no increase whatsoever for anybody with a vehicle that is already registered. The increase is for new vehicles coming into the territory. There's no annual fee. There's never contemplated in the bill any annual fee. You've already paid the highway user tax and you don't have to pay anything else. This bill applies to
when
newly
you say
registered.
the newly registered vehicle, just to clarify, it's the same road tax. It's the same road tax.
Yes.
It's the same road tax with an increase for the heavier vehicle.
Yes.
And that's what we say for the new vehicles coming in.
New vehicles.
But for your current vehicle that you have, you don't pay a road tax.
You don't pay it, and you have no other tax to pay with the highway user tax. You go, you register your vehicle, you inspect your vehicle, and you pay, whatever the fee is to register, and that's it. No annual fee. That's a total rumor. The bill does not consider or allow for any increase in fees for those that's already registered.
All right, final before you go, any other excitement coming forward with you before the rest of the year, because you've been keeping it rolling. So you have any other excitement coming our way?
Yes, we have quite a few legislation that is in the draft format. We're trying to, one of the jobs of a senator is to try to increase revenues for the government, but we're not going to put it on the backs of the people. There's some areas where we're looking at the marine tax with the issues with Tortola, and there's some other areas where we're looking at where the houses larger than 4,000 square feet, that includes a reinforced concrete total structure and a swimming pools, something with that. There's some other areas that we're looking at, but these two right now are the main ones: the hospital state of emergency and this increase in new vehicles coming in and putting so much weight on our road, messing up the road, giving public works additional funding to maintain our roads. And I thank you so much, Emmett, for this opportunity to clarify no increase in tax for the 4-tire vehicles that are under 6,000 pounds. If you already have your car on the road, there's no tax, no annual tax, period.
Well, thanks to AllAhWeTv, but thank you. And we want to say special thanks to Delvin Duggins, and we're going to throw out to you. Now, the next time you go and you create something, give us a call.
Yes.
So you could come by fast, quick, and in a hurry, and you could talk about it.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you.
But we want to thank you, and you keep up the great work here that you're doing.
Thank you. Blessings.
All right, brother.
Ready for a new business horizon? The Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority offers tax incentives, low-interest loans, neighborhood revitalization programs, and commercial space to help your business thrive. Grow with us. Visit USVIEDA.org today.